An update. An update. I just experienced the second step of those 3 steps, from faith to sensing faith to having the faith being mirrored in your physical reality, which is quite interesting because I just got the upgrade to sense the faith that I have been convincing myself to be in, the practicing of having faith, of knowing everything is all right, everything is going to turn out exactly in the way that it's meant to be, and it is the right way, the righteous way, which to me somehow righteousness, I have the sensation that I'm meant to define it in a way of the right way in the direction of the evolution growing into love. This shift, or these shifts, they're miraculous. There's this faith, there's faith, and then there's a miraculous shift happening, and suddenly your sensation added up to what you have been convincing yourself of. And then there's this miraculous shift that suddenly your physical environment is also mirroring what you are sensing. The interesting thing for me is that suddenly I am in the sensation of faith, while this faith that I am now sensing is actually liberated from the desires of the ego that I am entertaining or can now choose to entertain. Because this faith is suddenly wider than I thought it would be, as it just lets me know that everything's all right. Which is weird because the desire of just being in the moment is predominant. Which means the moment I am tapping into this human egoistic desires, then I know, yeah, I'm gonna rock in there. Yeah. While the base somehow that I start off from is a different one. The sensation that I have is that my vessel got so cleaned up that I am now in this standby mode, being ready to be used in any direction that I need to be used for by source. I can now easily jump into this direction, easily jump into that direction, easily have access to those emotional responses. Emotion, I say that consciously because I understand that emotions are the interpretation of our sensations. And I can now easier jump into those interpretations because I am in a different starting point, which is the starting point of having faith that everything's all right. And in that state, I have no desire to be anywhere else. All I know is everything is all right. because suddenly it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant where I'm going to be next. It's irrelevant. While at the same time, I know when I'm going to be there, yeah, then I'm going to party. Or then I'm going to be experiencing in the way that I'm meant to experience it, which is irrelevant right now because I'm just meant to be in this faithful state. I find that so interesting because at the same time, I know that this state is very often interpreted as something that seems to be an inspiration to sense huge discomfort. While I learned that you should do everything to avoid this state. The state of, yeah, the state of darkness in which you see none of what's ahead, and it's also irrelevant what has been. This state of exactly the state, yeah. The state. Which shows that because of this training to avoid such situation of being just all right with what is, having no aspiration for anything specific, it's all right to avoid this state and to actually train to avoid this state because it's considered as something that is causing inspiration to sense huge discomfort. Because of this training, there's actually the training happening of being separated from this state of faithfulness, which, how I see it, how I am receiving it from Source, is intended by Source. Because only then you have an anchor point from where you can then move on. And because then it needs because then it creates the opportunity to need pioneers, to need people who walk narrow pathways, opportunities to then need people who break out. Then you have the chance for breakthroughs, which are still being entertained and very supportive in this state of the evolution of consciousness. That's why they are still existing. Which is now also meant to be an encouragement to leave the possibility to actually define a state in which you are just in this state of equability. I have no idea whether this is existing. It just seems to be appropriate right now. Equability. In the state of equability, to see the state as all right, rather than needing to do anything to somehow let transform into something that makes you strive towards something, that makes you want something. It's also a right that you're just sitting in that room, that you're just laying on the floor and you have no idea. It's blank. It's blank. Because it is very possible, that you are actually a right in this state before these interpretations kick in that may have been trained and learned. Because in this blank, you offer space for source to actually operate in its name. And I experienced today that it was bringing me even closer to the understanding of what I'm very, very, very strongly connected to. And this is music. And this is one of these miraculous changes when I think of the streams that I made beforehand, and I can now sense how I'm doing this stream and also my environment right now. It's so still. Boom. It just it just happened. It just happened like that. Yeah. Yeah. So rather than seeing a situation as the hint to now do everything you can in order to get out of there, look whether it is actually all right to sit in there and to wonder. Yeah, okay, then wonder. And have this nothingness in your head. Okay. Because from there, it all starts. Because in this nothingness, there is everything in there. And then you have access to it. Because you cleansed yourself, or you have been cleansed, and you liberated yourself from everything that you considered as something that you need, something that you have to go to, something that you have to do. An empty bottle. So let the bottle be empty. Then it can be filled up again. With fresh water this time. Really fresh water, like this spring and real fresh water. Oh, boy. Yeah, coming directly from the source. Okay. Yeah.